Howdy folks, Doc here with Last Best Tool, and I was playing with kind of a thought exercise about a minimalist socket set, or almost, ultimately it'll be the tool set for carrying in my truck. And in this particular situation I'm going to use a Gen 2 Tacoma. And I looked up what I thought were all of the different sized sockets that I might need, and then assembled them. And so there's all kinds of gaps here, but that's because I haven't set up the thought exercise to include tools that I don't know where or when they could be used. Obviously it's easy to just grab your whole set of say 8 to 19 sockets, but if I only need 7 of them, you know, that's the thought exercise. Let's just grab exactly what we need and see what it looks like. So starting out with the metric sockets, which is pretty much going to be about everything, the smallest I might need is a 5.5 millimeter, and that's actually for, you know, the blower motor resistor screws. And I could also get away with probably a 7/32. They're about the same. An 8 millimeter, pretty common on a lot of odds and ends. Can be running boards if you've got them, just small fasteners here and there. The 10 millimeter is obviously used all over the place. That's, you know, something that you would use with a lot of console bolts, dashboard stuff, light covers, all sorts of things. No surprise there. The 11, that one actually works with battery terminals. If you've got 11 millimeter battery terminals, check. But obviously I could get by with something else like a pair of pliers there. Skid plates, emergency brake mounting bracket, stuff like that. It's going to take a 12. And then 13 tube steps if you have them. I don't. I took them off. So I could get rid of that one. But for starters, there it is. 14 is all kinds of stuff. The 14 here, make sure I'm on the right, yeah, there we go. Snap-on 14. The 14s are good for transmission drain plug, oil drain plug maybe, drive shaft bolts, exhaust, radiator stuff. I mean, that's a biggie. And I've gone with semi-deeps here to try to maximize the usefulness. And then 16, or excuse me, yes, let's see, what is this one? The 16 millimeter here, this can work as a spark plug socket if you've got a deep. So what I may do is can the 16 because I can't find any other use for it except the spark plug, but or I can run this this 5/8 for a spark plug. Haven't decided there, but that's what's going on with those two. Get to choose one, metric or not. And then 17, used all the time, all kinds of different things, suspension, steering, etc. The 19, control arms, some of the valves. What else do we have on the 19? I think, yeah, the PCV valve. 21 lug nuts. Now, the problem with the 21 this size is the thickness of the walls. But if it's just for lug nuts and you try it and it works, I can go with a system like this. I will need an extension to get this close enough because of the way the tire sidewall sticks out. And on this one, I've stuck a 3/8 drive adapter to half, and I've used a locking extension here. So I could use that, the 21 for something other than lug nuts if this is the right thickness of sockets. 22, sorry, grabbed that one early, that's the crank arm, or the crank pulley bolt and the alternator. 24, transfer case, rear diff, fill plugs. gone out here to a 27 shallow. This one's only good on, as far as I can tell, on Tacomas if you have the manual transmission, which I don't. So I might not use that. And then this is a 35 that, or this is a 36. I need the 35. I think for my my front axle nuts, which I doubt I'm going to be changing on the road. Then when I go down to, I've got torxes and hexes. For the hexes, 5mm transmission overflow plug, the 6mm suspension on the front axle, the 8mm, I've heard you need it. I don't know exactly where it goes. There it is, waiting. 10mm front diff and drain plug, and the 12mm, in this case, for front differential removal, if I needed to do that, which I don't know if that will be a project on the road. Move that out of the sunlight here. And then the torxes, the T20, small console work, electronics. The T25 is for mirrors. The T30 tailgate bolts. This is the, what is this one? The T40. Right here is the bed D-rings. And then the bed bolts are this big T55. The Tacomas, the Gen 2 and forward have kind of a fiber bed. They don't have a metal bed. So you can literally unbolt the bed and pop it off. And then finally the last two seem to be the E7 torx, which, where'd they go? They're right here. Slide those out. The E7 and the E14. The E7 is for the two bolts on the intake manifold if you happen to want to get those off for some reason. And then this E14 is differential removal, which I don't know if those are trail worthy things either, but this is kind of where I was headed with it. So I've got a little tiny Milwaukee pouch here. You can see my hand's bigger than this. What if I throw all these in? So it's like potentially you saw more than enough. I've got some that I don't know for sure what all they're going to do. I'll even toss in the extra spark plug and the useless 16. Crank those up and that. If I want to put this in, I might stack them. There we go. And can I get even my lug nut and the extension? Look at that. There it is. So I got every single potential socket, torx, and hex for my Toyota Tacoma. And then if I wanted to really do it, I could do something like this and maybe even a little cheater bar on it. Basic socket, or even something like this, and then an adapter. Kind of depends. So I'm going to look up the torque on a lot of these and see how big, I mean, what am I going to really need? The other thing then is I'm going to look for ways to shrink this even smaller. Obviously I could take out the stuff that I probably can't do on the trail. But then I can go one step further, and I'm going to start looking at flip sockets, make things even smaller, and choices with different handle, or with different different ratchets. Just kind of a thought exercise. See how simple I can get everything I need. And then I work with pliers, a few other things. So my goal is to have a super tiny little toolkit that has everything in it. See how this goes. And with that, Doc out.